Hi, Mr. Micklich here, again with Warriors Woodshop. Today we're going to talk about the router and the router table. When adjusting and setting up your router table, the first thing you want to do is move the fence. You move the fence by loosening up the two knobs in the back, pushing the fence out of the way so that you can lift up the router and the router housing. From there, you're going to want to unscrew your collet. You'll take the two wrenches that are designed for the router and righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, pull it out. This is your collet. This is your router bit with a 1/2-inch shank. Be attentive to the shanks on your router bit. This is a 1/2 inch, therefore I have a 1/2-inch collet. You may also have a bit with a 1/4-inch shank. If you have a bit with a 1/4-inch shank, you would then insert a 1/4-inch collet. They are interchangeable on a router. Just be attentive to use the correct collet with the correct shank on the bit that you're using. When you've identified the proper bit and collet, insert it, not all the way down to where it's bottoming it out, just leave a little bit at the top. Then you're going to hand screw it on your router. Make sure not to cross thread it. It should go on easily. From here, you will take your two wrenches. One wrench will go on the back. One wrench will go on the collet itself. You then will tighten. Again, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Snug it tight. Do not wrench with all your force. Okay, just a tight snug, and then you'll be good. Once you have this in, you will then put the router back into the router table. Make sure that the router goes back in with the lock to raise and lower in the front. If you do not do this, you will be reaching around the back, making it more difficult to raise and lower your router. Once my router is inserted back in, I will then loosen up the locking nut and raise to my desired cut. Remember, it is always good practice to take a test cut before you run your material to make sure you have the proper depth set. Once you have your depth set, you will then set the fence. Move the fence back up. Easiest way to set the fence when it has a ball bearing is to take a steel rule, touch off the ball bearing, and mash the fence to that point. At that point, you will then lock it down. You will cut all material from right to left. Never from left to right, because it'll take it and throw the board out. That is our installment on the router table. Thank you, and as always, if you have any questions, please refer to your instructor.